These two combatants are galloping toward the tournament grounds, toward the arena where X-planes and test pilots meet their fate. It's time for this battle to take to the air. Just 30 miles away from the Skunk and Phantom Works lies the proving grounds for all of America's X-planes, Edwards Air Force Base.
Edwards Air Force Base is a tremendous facility, and one of the hallmarks of that facility is the lake bed. It's about 12 miles wide, it's 20 miles long, and it's a very hard, flat surface. And you can put the airplane down, and you don't have to worry about running out of runway because you've got the whole lake bed in front of you.
With these wide open spaces, Edwards and experimental planes go back to the first supersonic flights. Here, the original X-plane, the X-1 flown by Chuck Yeager, broke the sound barrier over half a century ago. Since then, aviation triumphs and tragedies have made Edwards the hallowed ground of X-plane history. Now these skies will hold an epic contest never seen before, a battle between X-planes.
Historically, we have 47 X-plane programs. This is the first time in history, ever, that any two of those X-airplanes have competed against each other for a production contract. It's unprecedented.
It's time for Boeing's dream to take flight, while Lockheed can only watch from the ground. After years of derision as a second-rate contender, Boeing proves even an underdog, like its X-32, can have its day.
Airman Lorma, this is Freddie Knox from the Boeing Company. We're getting ready to launch that X-32 on its first flight this morning. And I wonder if I could get a little forecast for the winds, say from about 7:30 to
Fred
noon
Knox,
local.
Boeing's chief test pilot and a key developer of the X-plane, will take the craft on its maiden flight.
I appreciate your help this morning. Bye-bye.
It was a good day to go.
It's an excellent day to go.
With the fate of the Boeing effort resting on his shoulders, Knox receives a final blessing from Frank Statkiss.
See you at the other end.
Absolutely. For me, it's about as big a day as a test pilot's ever going to have. A chance to go do our first flight. It's a big day for me. It's a big day for the rest of the team. We spent 4 years now working very hard. Everybody from flight controls to APU pumps to structure, and a lot of hard work. And we should get a nice, safe flight in.
Have a great flight.
Everybody enjoy it too? It's a big day for all of us.
See you guys at Edwards!
Yeah, couldn't be a nicer day.
I'm excited, I'm pumped. We're ready to go. Everybody's smiling. Look at that.
You're looking sharp, sir. F8 forever, you bet.
There's my team.
If Fred Knox is nervous, he doesn't show it, even after finding some stray tools in the cockpit.
Home sweet home. It'll be fun. Thank you, sir.
Knox is alone in the plane. He has plenty of company in the air. 2 chase planes flown by other test pilots will monitor his flight.
is ready to come.
It's going to be exciting. Finally, all of our life is in there. Blood, sweat, and tears.
0 or 124.55, squawk 040. Hey, 363.0 for departure, 0406 on the punches.
Like proud parents, the weary engineers and mechanics of the Phantom Works gather to see their fighter off.
Now ready for takeoff on runway 7. Will be an airborne pickup by the Salty Dog.
Control copies, read you loud and clear, and we are ready.
And I'm going to go fly.
Today's flight isn't a round trip. The Boeing plane is leaving the Phantom Works for good to take up residence at Edwards Air Force Base, a short distance away.
I got the goosebumps.
I was bawling like a baby. Yeah, I mean, it was excitement, you know, and then it was just kind of mainly a huge sense of relief.
Easing the throttle back, it's climbing like a bean's got to.
There is.
Within minutes, the X-plane is in the airspace over Edwards, wheels down just in case.
But 11 Alpha 160 looks good. It's going to give you a brief.
Knox has flown this plane for hundreds of hours in a simulator. Now he gets to see if the real thing handles the same way.
But 11 Alpha 160 looks good. Hey, I'm happy with the airplane.
Then, Boeing test pilot Dennis O'Donoghue in his chase plane spots a problem.
Truck Irish, on the starboard side, you've got hydraulic fluid leaking from about the forward mid-fuselage.
I'm just guessing it's the first flight stuff pouring out a little bit, but we'll watch.
It doesn't appear to be dissipating. I'll keep an eye on it.
Roger.
With the source of the leak uncertain, Knox is told to cut short his long-awaited flight.
It's going to give you abbreviated test points, and we'll set up for a landing here.
2 numbers off, runway 25, wind 2504, altimeter 3002, clear to the Hawthorne Airport, via Palmdale Victor 518. Congratulations, Fred. Well done. Well, hey, we got airborne.
We need to start to prepare and set the airplane down.
There she is. Got one flight under her belt.
We dropped a little fluid out of it. We never lost, everything stayed up. It's full normal landing. The flying quality's about 11. O'Donoghue was getting nervous. He couldn't stand the fluid pumping out.
Congratulations.
So it's time to land, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely time to land. From the moment I saw it, it was time to land.
The hydraulic leak turns out to be minor, a tiny glitch in an otherwise triumphant day. Over Edwards, Boeing begins a series of test flights. During each one, the pilot puts the plane through a specific set of maneuvers known as test points. Sensors document the plane's flying characteristics. The results go to the JSF. So far, the plane's performance closely mirrors the Boeing simulations, a sign of just how sophisticated computer design has become.
Every pilot has been astounded at how closely the airplane actually matches what we thought it would do, from air speeds and flying qualities and system performance. That's just been a really good surprise.
While this version of the Boeing X-plane is intended for both the Air Force and Navy, it's the Navy requirements that will be the most demanding. Commander Phil Yates, call sign Rowdy, is the official Navy test pilot assigned to the Boeing effort. For him, it was an unexpected honor.
I received a phone call. How would you like to be the first Navy pilot to fly the JSF? Well, after picking my chin up off the ground, I said, yeah, I think I'd like to do that.
Carrier landings are a testament to the precision skill of Navy pilots, and Rowdy is one of the best. In preparation for testing the Boeing X-plane, he takes an F-18 Hornet out for a spin.
Okay, good nozzles, good hydraulic pressure, good RPM. Here's a salute. Here we go.
And we're off. Oh, that's out. Man.
Carrier landings are probably the most demanding task a pilot may be faced with, especially at night in adverse conditions, pitching deck, bad weather. You have to be able to precisely control the airplane.
Flying at about 150 miles per hour, Navy pilots aim for a target zone of only 120 feet, about the size of a tennis court. They must catch one of 4 arresting cables. Pilots don't apply brakes. In fact, at contact with the flight deck, they gun the engine to full power, so that if the plane misses the cables, there's enough thrust to get airborne.
If landing on a runway is like threading a belt through a belt loop, landing on a carrier is like threading a needle.
A test pilot's job is to jump into a plane in which he may have little experience and report on its pros and cons.
When you start doing that in an airplane that's never been flown before, then it really is what gets a test pilot, I think, excited.
What's exciting to a test pilot would be sheer terror to most people. Here at Edwards, Rowdy will put Boeing's X-plane through the precision maneuvers of a carrier landing.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
We all recognize that these are unproven airplanes, but we as test pilots deal with that we're going to be able to handle any situation that the aircraft presents to us. If we don't feel that way, we wouldn't be flying.
The Boeing team has worked hard to minimize the danger. But the test requires Rowdy to fly so close to the ground, any error or technical problem may be fatal. A section of runway has been marked off, equal to the landing strip on a carrier deck.
God, he goes. Roger that, Phantom 3.
From a control room miles away, a team of Boeing engineers monitors the X-plane's every move.
Roger that.
Pilot learns what kind of corrections and control inputs he has to make, and then it's also the aircraft's ability to respond to those control inputs. It's that combination that ultimately determines how well the airplane is going to do at the ship.
As he would on a real carrier, Rowdy receives visual cues from an optical landing aid called the Fresnel lens. If he can line up an amber light called the meatball correctly, Rowdy knows he's approaching at a safe angle for a successful touchdown. He gets additional tips from a landing signal officer on the ground. On a real carrier, this officer would give a score to every landing.
I want to hear what you say. Low start in the middle. We're not really trying to grade the pilot on what Rowdy's doing. He's a skilled aviator who knows how to make the corrections. Raj Ball. So what we're trying to look is find out how the airplane is performing with certain deviations applied to it.
With each attempt, the degree of difficulty goes up. To recreate real-world conditions, Rowdy begins an approach descending too fast or at too steep an angle, and then tries to correct for it.
Man, that's amazing.
The X in X-plane means experimental, but occasionally it means unexpected. On one test flight, pilot Dennis O'Donoghue runs into trouble.
We were just doing a routine test with the aircraft to see if we ever lost the engine, could we crank the engine back up and get it relit?
Suddenly, a warning light comes on indicating the X-plane's landing brakes have failed.
Flight control. Flight
Talk to me. Do you want him to reset or slow?
You can't reset. You gotta bring it home.
Phantom 3 control, we need you to RTB.
RTB, can I reset?
Negative.
Suspecting the warning light is at fault, O'Donoghue brings the plane into land on the runway. Without brakes, he will quickly run out of room, risking injury to himself and his reputation. Wrecking a multi-million-dollar X-plane doesn't look good on the resume.
And touchdown, press the brake pedals, no response. It was just a matter of adding power, getting airborne again.
Phantom 3 control, we need you to RTB.
With the brakes definitely gone, it's time for Plan B. Saving a 21st century plane using a 2-million-year-old lake bed.
Had plenty of lake bed in front of me. Touchdown, and just let the aircraft roll to a stop. Had we not had the lake bed, that would have been a much more critical emergency, much more critical.
After a month of successful flights, Boeing's luck has run out. Repairing the brakes reveals a major software problem.
Still read 9s, or you got the 3s? Still read 9s. More 9s.
The plane is grounded.
All right, well.
To make matters worse, Boeing no longer has the skies over Edwards to itself. That very day, Lockheed's X-plane is finally ready to leave its factory home and head into battle.
Funky chicken here.
The X-plane's first flight is in the hands of Chief Test Pilot Tom Morgenfeld.
Ready to go.
Having flown everything from the first stealth fighter to black aircraft that are still classified, Morgenfeld has unrivaled experience. Yet he is all too familiar with the dangers of flight test. In 1992, while piloting an Air Force prototype, a computer malfunction sends Morgenfeld's aircraft into a violent oscillation. After skidding in flames for more than a mile, Morgenfeld walks away unharmed. Now, nearly a decade later, the legendary test pilot is about to climb into another untested fighter.
No turning back now, I think. I've committed myself, huh?
The first time you fly an airplane, it's a tremendous thrill. Your heart's pumping and the adrenaline's flowing, believe me.
In a Lockheed tradition, Morgenfeld carries with him the wallets and car keys of assembly manager Ed Buer and the rest of the senior X-plane team. It's a sign of confidence.
Thank you.
And hat trick on condition, you're clear 2.0, 2.1.
I am so filled with emotion right now. Oh, man.
This is fun. All complete, feels great. Roger, gear coming on my count. 3, 2, 1, now. The doors are open. Roger, copy of that hat trick.
After 22 minutes, the first flight is over. Lockheed's X-plane touches down at its new home.
Welcome to Edwards, and you're clear for the shutdown. Bring it in.
That beautiful man up there right now. Took care of my baby. What an airplane. We did it, man. We did it. Oh, great, man. What a thrill. Sorry. I had to hold you. I had to hold you. Good job, man. Hey, Les. Good job, man. What an airplane. What an airplane. Hey, Andy.
Yes.
What an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
Get you wet. Magnificent. It was great. It was super. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So awesome.
Oh, it felt great. It felt super. Yeah. I wish we'd have done a little bit more. I just wanted to keep on flying. Airplane's ready too. I mean,
yeah.
It feels great.
That's great. God, we couldn't all be
Gotta get to the winner.
We're gonna fly the out of this airplane and just kick every day. That's what it's all about.
True to Rezebek's word, the Lockheed X-plane is back in the sky the very next day. A carefully orchestrated series of